How successful people train their mind. Do this every day. The silent training. Every day, your mind wakes up before your body. Before you stand up, before you speak, before you move, your mind begins to talk. It says something about the day. It says something about you. It says something about your future. Successful people know this. They listen to that first voice. They do not ignore it. They train it. Most people wake up and feel tired. They say this day will be hard. They say life is unfair. They say they are not ready. These words become feelings. These feelings become actions. These actions become habits. Habits build a life. Successful people understand one simple truth. Thoughts create direction. Direction creates results. If you think weak thoughts, you act weak. If you think strong thoughts, you act strong. The difference begins inside. No one sees this training. It happens in silence. It happens in small moments. It happens every morning. Imagine two people. They live in the same city. They have the same job. They face the same problems. The first person wakes up and says, "I am tired. Nothing ever changes. Today will be stressful." The second person wakes up and says, "Today is a new chance. I may face problems, but I can grow." Both people feel fear. Both people feel pressure, but their thoughts are different. One feels heavy. One feels ready. This is how successful people train their mind. They do not wait for motivation. They create it. They choose their first thought. They choose their focus. They choose their story. Your mind is like a garden. If you do nothing, weeds will grow. Weeds grow fast. They grow without effort. Negative thoughts are the same. Doubt grows fast. Fear grows fast. Excuses grow fast. If you do nothing, they take over. Successful people pull out the weeds early. They see a bad thought and stop. They ask one question: is this thought helping me? If the answer is no, they replace it. They plant a better thought. They say, "I can learn." They say, "I can try again." They say, "I will improve." This is daily training. It is simple, but it is not easy. Your brain likes comfort. It likes old patterns. It likes easy thoughts. Old thoughts feel safe, even if they hurt you. That is why change feels hard. When you try to think better, your brain resists. It says, "This is not normal." It says, "Go back to the old way." Successful people expect this resistance. They do not quit when it feels hard. They continue. They repeat. They practice again. They understand that discipline is not emotion. Discipline is decision. They decide who they want to become. Then they train their thoughts to match that person. Think about an athlete. An athlete trains every day. Some days the body feels strong. Some days the body feels weak. But training continues. The same is true for the mind. Some days you feel confident. Some days you feel unsure. But mental training must continue. Successful people do not say, "I will think positive only when I feel good." They train especially when they feel bad. When fear appears, they pause. They do not run from fear. They look at it. They ask, "What is the lesson here?" When they fail, they do not say, "I am useless." They say, "This is feedback." When someone criticizes them, they do not break. They think, "Maybe I can grow from this." This is not magic. This is practice. Every day they build awareness. Awareness means noticing your thoughts. Right now you are thinking something. Maybe you think this is interesting. Maybe you think this is difficult. Maybe you think, "I already know this." Whatever you think shapes your feeling. Successful people notice their thinking many times a day. They create small checkpoints. In the morning, they ask,
what am I thinking? At work, they ask, is this thought useful? At night, they ask, what did I learn today? These small questions change direction. Without awareness, you live on autopilot. Autopilot is easy, but autopilot follows old patterns. Old patterns create old results. If you want new results, you need new thoughts. New thoughts need attention. Attention is power. Where you focus grows stronger. If you focus on problems, problems grow bigger. If you focus on solutions, solutions grow clearer. Successful people train focus. They choose what deserves energy. They do not spend hours complaining. They do not waste time blaming others. They ask, what can I control? This question gives strength. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control other people. You cannot control the past, but you can control your response. You can control your effort. You can control your words. This control builds confidence. Confidence is not loud. It is quiet certainty. It says, I can handle this, even if it is hard. Successful people build this voice slowly. They speak to themselves with respect. They do not insult themselves. They say, I am learning. They treat themselves like a good friend. If a friend makes a mistake, you do not destroy them. You encourage them. You guide them. You believe in them. Successful people do the same inside their own mind. This inner conversation matters. You hear it all day. If it is negative, you feel small. If it is strong, you feel capable. Your life follows this voice. Training the mind also means protecting it. You are careful with food. You choose what you eat. But many people are not careful with mental food. They watch negative news all day. They scroll social media for hours. They compare their life with others. Then they feel behind. They feel not enough. Successful people guard their mental space. They limit what hurts their focus. They choose books that teach. They listen to people who inspire. They spend time with those who grow. This does not mean they ignore reality. It means they choose what strengthens them. Energy is limited. Attention is limited. Successful people invest both wisely. Morning is very important. The first hour shapes the day. Some people wake up and check their phone immediately. Messages enter the mind. Problems enter the mind. Noise enters the mind. Successful people create space first. They breathe. They sit in silence. They think about their goal. They remember their purpose. Purpose gives direction. Without purpose, the mind drifts. With purpose, the mind focuses. If you know why you work hard, you can continue. If you know why you want change, you can endure pain. Successful people connect daily tasks to long-term purpose. They say, this small action matters. They see meaning in effort. Meaning creates strength. Strength builds discipline. Discipline creates freedom. This is the secret. Many people think freedom means no rules, but real freedom comes from control. When you control your thoughts, you control your actions. When you control your actions, you control your future. This training does not happen in one day. It happens in thousands of small choices. One better thought, one better question, one better response. Day after day, year after year. Successful people are not special. They simply repeat this process longer. They fall, they rise, they adjust, they continue. They understand that progress is slow, but slow progress is still progress. Each time you choose courage over fear, you grow. Each time you choose patience over anger, you grow. Each time you choose focus over distraction, you grow. Growth feels quiet at first, but over time, it becomes power. Imagine your future self, calm under pressure, clear in decisions, strong in storms. That person is built by thoughts, not by luck, not by talent alone, but by daily mental training. Successful people know this. They do the work inside. They win the silent battle each morning. They choose their thoughts before the world chooses for them. And that is how they train their mind every day. Part 2. Training in the Storm. In Part 1, you learned about the morning battle. Now we go deeper, because real training does not happen only in quiet moments. Real training happens in storms. Life is not always calm. People disappoint you. Plans fail. Money becomes tight. Health becomes weak. Dreams take longer than expected. This is where most people lose control. Their emotions become loud. Their thoughts become dark. They say, "Why me?" They say, "This is impossible." They say, "I give up." Successful people feel the same storm, but they respond differently. They use the storm as training. When stress comes, they do not panic first. They pause. They breathe slowly. They create a small space between feeling and action. This space is power. Inside this space, you can choose. Without this space, you react. Reaction is fast. Choice is strong. Imagine someone insults you. Your first thought may be anger. Your body becomes hot. Your heart beats faster. If you react fast, you may say something painful. Later, you regret it. Successful people train this moment. They pause. They ask one question: will this reaction help my future? Often, the answer is no, so they choose a better response. They stay calm, or they walk away, or they speak with respect. This does not mean they are weak. It means they are in control. Control is strength, not loud words, not fast anger. Real strength is calm power. Fear is another storm. Fear visits everyone. Fear says you are not ready. Fear says you will fail. Fear says stay small. Successful people do not try to destroy fear. They study it. They look at it with logic. They ask, what is the real danger? They ask, what is the worst result? They ask, what can I do if that happens? When you answer these questions, fear becomes smaller. Fear grows in darkness. Logic brings light. Many fears are pictures in the mind. They are not facts. They are stories. Successful people change the story. Instead of saying, I cannot do this, they say, I have not done this yet. Instead of saying, I will fail, they say, I will learn. This small change creates big movement. Another enemy of mental discipline is overthinking. Overthinking feels productive, but it is not. It is like running on a treadmill. You move, but you stay in the same place. You think about every possible problem. You imagine many bad futures. You delay action. Successful people think deeply, but they also decide. They set limits. They say, I will think about this for 30 minutes. Then I will choose. Action creates clarity. Waiting creates confusion. Even a small step forward builds confidence. Confidence is built by movement, not by perfect thinking. Now let us talk about doubt. Doubt whispers quietly. It says, maybe you are not good enough. Maybe others are better. Maybe this dream is too big. If you listen too long, doubt becomes belief. Successful people answer doubt with evidence. They remember past wins. They remember times they survived hard days. They remember skills they learned. They collect proof. Proof builds belief. Belief builds courage. Courage builds action. Action builds success. This is the chain. Break the chain of doubt and nothing moves. Strengthen the chain and progress continues. Training the mind also means choosing your environment carefully. Environment shapes thinking. If your room is messy, your mind feels messy. If your phone is always making noise, your focus breaks. If your friends complain all day, your energy drops. Successful people design their environment. They clean their space. They remove distractions. They create quiet time. They choose friends who grow. This does not mean life becomes perfect. It means obstacles become smaller, focus becomes easier, energy becomes stronger. Rest is also part of discipline. A tired mind makes poor choices. When you're exhausted, negative thoughts grow faster. Small problems feel big. Simple tasks feel heavy. Successful people respect sleep. They respect breaks. They understand that rest is not laziness. Rest is repair. Just like muscles grow during recovery, the brain grows during rest. Balance is power. Work hard, rest well, think clearly, repeat. Now, imagine you fail at something important. Maybe you lose a job. Maybe a project does not work. Maybe someone leaves your life. Pain is real. Disappointment is real. Successful people do not pretend it doesn't hurt. They allow the feeling, but they do not live inside it. They ask, "What is this teaching me?" They look for the lesson. Lessons turn pain into value. Without reflection, pain becomes bitterness. With reflection, pain becomes wisdom. Wisdom builds strength for the next challenge. Every setback can become training weight. In a gym, heavy weights build strong muscles. In life, heavy moments build strong minds. If you run from all difficulty, you stay weak. If you face difficulty with discipline, you grow. Another powerful tool is visualization. Successful people see success before it happens. They close their eyes. They imagine speaking with confidence. They imagine finishing the race. They imagine solving the problem calmly. The brain does not know the difference between strong imagination and real practice. When you imagine success, you prepare your nervous system. When the real moment comes, it feels familiar. This reduces fear. This increases control. Visualization is quiet training. No one sees it, but results show it. Mantras also help. A mantra is a short sentence, simple, strong, clear. For example, I stay calm under pressure. Or I grow every day. Or I choose focus. When your mind becomes noisy, repeat your mantra again and again. Repetition builds belief. Belief shapes behavior. Behavior shapes identity. Identity shapes destiny. Successful people protect their identity. They say, I am disciplined. I am learning. I am improving. Even before big results appear. Because identity guides action. If you believe you are lazy, you act lazy. If you believe you are disciplined, you look for disciplined actions. Choose your identity carefully. Now think about distractions in modern life. Phones vibrate, messages arrive, videos autoplay. The mind jumps quickly. Focus becomes rare. Successful people train focus like a muscle. They work for short focused periods, maybe 25 minutes. Then they rest for 5 minutes. Then they return. This builds deep work ability. Deep work creates high-quality results. High-quality results build confidence. Confidence strengthens mental discipline. Everything connects. Your thoughts connect to your habits. Your habits connect to your results. Your results connect to your future. That is why daily training matters. Not once a week, not only when inspired, every day, especially in hard days. Storm days are test days. They show you your level. If you lose control, do not quit. Notice it, adjust it, try again. Progress is not perfect. It is steady. Successful people are not perfect thinkers. They are consistent trainers. They fall into negative thinking sometimes, but they return faster. They correct faster. They grow stronger each time.
Think of your mind as a ship in the ocean. Waves will hit. Wind will change. Storms will appear. You cannot stop the ocean, but you can steer the ship. Steering must happen again and again. Small corrections, small adjustments, daily attention. That is mental discipline. Not control of life, but control of direction. And direction decides destination. Part 3. Identity, Standards, and the Long Game. In Part 1, you learned awareness. In Part 2, you learned control during storms. Now we go deeper, because short motivation can start a journey, but identity sustains it. Many people focus on goals: lose 10 kilos, earn more money, start a business, get top grades. Goals are important, but goals are temporary. When you reach a goal, the game ends. Identity is different. Identity continues. Instead of saying, "I want to write a book," say, "I am becoming a writer." Instead of saying, "I want to get fit," say, "I am becoming a disciplined athlete." When identity changes, behavior follows naturally. A writer writes even when tired. An athlete trains even when not inspired. A disciplined person keeps promises. Identity answers the question, what kind of person am I? And even more powerful, what kind of person do I refuse to be? Successful people set internal standards. Standards are stronger than goals. A goal says, "I want to achieve this." A standard says, "This is how I operate." For example, I do not quit in the middle. I speak with respect. I show up on time. I finish what I start. These are standards. Standards guide daily actions. Daily actions create long results. If your standards are low, your results will be low. If your standards are high, your growth will be high. Even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching, character is built in private. Many people act disciplined in public, but alone they break promises to themselves. They skip practice. They delay tasks. They choose comfort. Each broken promise weakens identity. Each kept promise strengthens it. Trust in yourself is built this way, not by talking, but by doing. Small wins matter. Wake up when you planned. Finish one important task. Read 10 pages. Train for 20 minutes. These are not small. They are votes for your new identity. Every action is a vote. If you repeat enough votes, the identity becomes solid. Now let us talk about the long game. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 month and underestimate what they can do in 3 years. Growth is slow at first, like a seed under the soil. You see nothing, but roots are growing. If you stop watering because you see nothing, the plant never appears. Successful people understand delayed results. They focus on process. They trust repetition. They do not need applause every day. They build quietly. They improve 1% at a time. 1% seems small, but small improvements compound. 1 better decision per day. 1 extra practice session per week. 1 difficult conversation handled calmly. After a year, the difference is huge. Compounding works in both directions. Good habits compound into strength. Bad habits compound into weakness. That is why daily choices matter, even when they feel insignificant. Discipline is not about being extreme. It is about being consistent. Extreme effort for 3 days is easy. Consistent effort for 3 years is rare. Rare behavior creates rare results. Now think about distractions from your path. Comparison is one of the biggest. You look at others, their success, their money, their body, their life. You feel behind. You feel small. Comparison steals focus. Successful people compare mostly with their past self. Am I better than last month? Am I stronger than last year? Am I thinking more clearly than before? This comparison builds growth. External comparison builds insecurity. Social media shows highlights, not struggles, not failures, not doubts at night.
Do not compare your full story to someone else's highlight. Stay in your lane. Run your race. Another key principle is responsibility. Responsibility feels heavy at first, but it creates power. If you blame others for everything, you give away control. If you say, "This is my responsibility," you take back control. Maybe you did not create the problem, but you can choose your response. Response is power. Blame is weakness. Ownership builds maturity. Maturity builds leadership, even if you lead only yourself. Leadership starts within. Let us also talk about patience. Patience is not passive, it is active endurance. It means you continue doing the right actions even when results are slow, even when recognition is missing, even when doubt appears. Patience protects long-term vision. Without patience, people quit too early.
Many quit just before improvement becomes visible. They were close, but they stopped. Successful people survive the boring middle, the phase where effort feels repetitive, where progress feels small, where excitement is low. They understand this phase is necessary. Mastery is built in repetition, not in excitement. Excitement starts the journey. Repetition completes it. Now consider integrity. Integrity means your actions match your words. If you say, "I will do it," you do it. If you say, "I value health," you act accordingly. Integrity simplifies life. There is no internal conflict, no double life, no pretending. Inner peace grows when actions and values align. Peace increases focus. Focus increases performance. Performance increases confidence. Everything connects. Another deep concept is sacrifice. To build something meaningful, you must give up something comfortable. Time spent scrolling, late nights without purpose, short-term pleasure. Sacrifice is not loss, it is investment. You trade temporary comfort for long-term strength. Every high achiever understands this exchange. You cannot keep every comfort and still expect elite results. Choose what matters most, then protect it. Boundaries help here. Say no to what weakens your focus. Say yes to what strengthens your future. No is a powerful word. Use it wisely. Finally, understand this. You will not feel motivated every day. You will not feel confident every week. You will not feel strong every month. Feelings change. Standards remain. Identity remains. Commitment remains. When feelings drop, return to standards. Return to identity. Return to simple actions. Make your bed. Do your work. Train your body. Read your pages. Call your family. Simple disciplines protect you from chaos. Over time, you will notice something powerful. You are calmer in storms, more focused in noise, less shaken by criticism, less distracted by comparison, more certain about your direction. This is inner strength, not loud, not dramatic, but stable. And stability wins long games. The world changes fast. Technology shifts, trends move, opinions change, but disciplined identity remains valuable in every era. Build that, protect that, train that daily, because at the end of everything, skills matter, money matters, status may matter, but the strongest asset you will ever own is the person you have trained yourself to be.
If this message hit you, then don't just watch and leave. Like this video, share it to someone who needs this wake-up, and subscribe to this channel. Study yourself 1 hour a day. We are building a different breed here, a new generation of doers, people who don't wait for permission, people who build themselves daily, people who compound quietly and become untouchable over time. Hit subscribe, join the movement. 1 hour a day, every day. And in 1 year, your future self will not recognize you anymore. Let's grow. Let's execute. Let's dominate our own potential. Subscribe now and start becoming the person nobody can compete with.